Meanwhile, let's get...
What's going on, people? Welcome to this week's edition of Flex and Rant Show. What are you saying?
I'm alright, bro. I'm alright still, yeah.
It's been a long week.
It has.
Arsenal and Wolves in the week. Josh is happy. But before we look at the week that's just gone, we'll talk about that in a sec. It's January, transfer season. You know what I mean? A lot going on. We're depleted in midfield. We've only got Matic, who hasn't played all season, now playing 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Burnley and Arsenal. And Wolves. Actually, sorry, Burnley, Wolves and Arsenal. We've only got him and Fred. Andreas played next to him. We are ruined in central midfield. Pogba out, needs another operation. That's a whole other thing. We're not even going into that. That's boring. McTominay out for a long time. What the hell are we going to do?
Nothing. That's what we're going to do. Heard man talking about Fosu Mensah and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been playing right back on all his loan moves. We saw him flourish under LVG at centre-half. And now all of a sudden, after a long-term soft tissue injury, he's going to come back and just step into central midfield in the engine room. It's not going to happen, innit? Like, I don't know what Ollie's on. I don't know what he's on. That's not feasible.
Surely that can't be... Is that just a ploy? We don't want to play too much. He's already spoke about prices of players and it having to be the right price. I'm trying to think logically here. Surely that's got to be a ploy just to say we're not that desperate.
But saying you're going to play Fosu Mensah, yeah, centre mid, that's saying we're desperate. Do you know what I'm saying? That is saying we're desperate. The guy hasn't played central midfield for about 4 years. Even though that is his natural position, DM, he hasn't played there.
Since under 23.
He hasn't played there as in the first team. So you are saying to everyone we're desperate when you're mentioning Fosu Mensah. You know what I mean, he hasn't even, I don't think he's made the bench yet, has he?
No.
Well, there you go. So we're desperate. That's exactly what it is.
And we're so thin.
That's it.
But in this transfer window, yeah, I feel like as much as we need players in it, because we're clearly depleted, we've got a lot of injuries, and if we're going to mount any form of serious challenge for anything for the rest of this season, we're not going to do it on how thin we are, for me, especially in central midfield. But now it looks like anything we kind of do now is a panic, because they didn't go and get central midfielders in the summer. And for me, the targets that you did want in the summer, if you do truly believe you're going to get them the following summer, you don't really believe you're going to get them in January. I don't think that our number one targets are going to be available in January. It just doesn't. It's always something that arises, like how Alexis arose. Like,
yeah, but
do you see that?
I disagree, because I look at the likes of, say, Christian Eriksen that I keep talking about. The guy's got less than 6 months left, so you can either buy him now or you can negotiate the deal for the summer already now. He's allowed to speak to clubs.
Yeah.
He should have been a target.
But that's what I'm saying. He probably wasn't a target, something that arose.
No, but he should have been a target, but maybe United said, you know what it'll cost now, we'll wait till January. But you can't tell me after letting Ander Herrera go on a free and getting rid of Fellaini that there's no midfielders on the list. Sean Longstaff.
But that's what I'm saying. It's just resurrecting the ones that we kind of thought, really, in the summer.
But that's what I'm trying to say. For me, if they don't have a list of midfielders potentially that you could bring in already, that just shows the incompetence of the management team. That's all it shows, and I've not been surprised by it, and I haven't doubted their incompetence for quite a while, to be honest. So none of this really surprises me. You don't let two players go, don't bring anyone in, and then you're talking about, but we have Jimmy Garner and all of this. Do me a favour.
No, you can't expect the youngsters to come in and
do me
a
favour. Don't give me that nonsense. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, the man's always harping on about playing youth and all of that, but he doesn't really. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Brandon Williams got to go because really what happened, Luke Shaw was out for a while. And then we got Ashley Young. So we got to go because he had to. I mean, we didn't have another left back. Angel Gomes ain't getting game time, bro. Like, Jesse hasn't been good for a while in that number 10. Matt's legs have gone. He can't play 90 minutes. And Angel also had a very good pre-season. But he can't get a game. So this whole playing youth nonsense when Angel's the captain for England and Manchester United, it's rubbish. And then I saw something coming out the other day saying Ollie's not giving him game time because
he thinks he might leave.
But he wouldn't want to leave, if you were playing him. Do you see what I'm saying?
Especially early in his career, like I feel if he was getting game time, his head wouldn't need to be turned because he's not at that level of his career where he's established and he wants to be winning time. He just wants to start playing regular football.
And he wants to play
and
for
if he can do that at Manchester United. I mean, you know what? On Gomes, before we keep going on about the transfers...
He's not getting linked with West Brom and Stoke. Yeah, he's getting linked with Barcelona. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that tells you the level of this guy, you know. Barcelona are the kind of teams that are looking at, man. Teams like Dortmund, all them teams will look at him. But you can't get a game ahead of Jesse Lingard, who hasn't got a goal or an assist in a whole calendar year. But you play youth.
The first question that I was going to ask in the question section, because you touched on it, was, I got it here, is what do you think of Gomes? It's from @Scott_signals. As views on Chong and Gomes' situation at the moment, i.e. their abilities as players now and the future, and with both of their contracts. So
I said already with Angel, yeah, him and Mason Greenwood, in terms of like raw talent, they're the two most talented boys that we got out of that crop by far. Do you know what I mean? Chong, he can go. Like, I don't rate him. Do you know what I'm saying? I do not rate him. I think he's better than under 23 level, but he's not Premier League level. He could go back to Holland or go Germany and maybe do something.
Too early to think that, though? You've seen enough?
No, I've seen enough.
You've seen enough
I just don't think he's talented.
But if you haven't seen Gomes enough in the first team, how have you come to the decision that he's definitely good enough?
You saw the pre-season, but also talent-wise, Gomes is way more talented than him. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it comes to. Chong don't have the talent. Forget all the other stuff. He's nowhere near as talented as Mason. Just like I haven't seen much of Mason. I didn't see much of Mason Greenwood a year ago in first team, but I knew that he was the truth, bro.
He's running through everyone in
exactly.
23 levels.
Bro,
ridiculous.
Like Gomes is binsing out free kicks and stuff like that. We don't have a set piece taker in the first team. Gomes is putting free kicks in the top corner like almost every other week, bro. Do you know what I mean? He wears the armband internationally and domestically, but he can't get a game.
I do find it very odd.
I mean, bro, I've seen him die against Astana and teams like that, bro. Like, no, man.
I think Chong, he definitely didn't cover himself in glory in them few games he did play, especially in Astana in the second leg as well. Second leg or the away leg. But
I just think he's a one-trick pony, but he doesn't have the pace to get away with it.
Well, yeah, in under 23 level, he looks bright. Running away from players like they're not there,
he's
doing
too good
stuff.
for that. Yeah.
And that was the initial thing that we look at as United fans in the under 23 levels that makes him think he did deserve a shout in the first team. But sometimes, you know what I mean, Rants? I don't know, man. Sometimes you got to be in the right system, you got to be in the right setup.
You do, but I just think
I think our team is very hard for a lot of young players to flourish. I know Brandon Williams coming down very well, and if you're a class above that, like a Greenwood, you just show it. Like he's got that.
Yeah, but bro, the difference is with Tahith Chong, I don't think he's a wide man, and he don't really have pace. You don't have explosive pace. Do you know what I mean? To get away from someone. So if you don't have that, you need to be clever. Do you see what I'm saying? Mason hasn't got like breathtaking pace, but he's so intelligent off the ball in his movement. He creates space, little pockets and stuff. Chong don't have that because Chong's not a clever player. Like if Chong had more pace, then I'll be like, all right, cool, because then you can make.
Is it something you think he can, as he gets older, he can bulk up, he can get more explosive,
I don't think it's
powerful?
anything to do with that, bro. Pace is natural. Do you know what I'm saying? Like even when Rashford come through stick thin and that, he still had burners. Do you know what I'm saying?
That's what you have first.
Yeah. Like if Chong don't have pace now, he'll never have pace. And when I mean pace,
but could he learn? That's what I'm saying. Could he compensate for that by learning a bit more trickery, by learning to be a bit more acute with his game? David Silva doesn't have pace. Bernardo Silva isn't the fastest.
But they're technically and more intelligent. And that side of the game, you learn that at a very young age. You see that. Do you know what I'm saying? You saw that with the likes of Mason Greenwood, his movement.
Well, Gomes technically has more of that. What he lacks in maybe physicality, because a lot of people say he's small and stuff, but he's very nippy, he's very nimble.
Is nippy, he's agile, but he's a very intelligent footballer. You can see with the little flicks and the passes he plays, the little one-touch things, stepping over the ball, letting it run and that. You could tell that he's quick up here. Yeah. Whereas Chong don't have that. And that's what I mean about the natural ability and the talent. He doesn't have that. And if you don't have that, you have to make up with it with physical attributes, which he doesn't have.
And ultimately, I think where we really want to judge these players, which is the most disappointing thing out of all of this debate here, is that we want to see them playing. And we can't even make a proper informed time. Exactly. At least we can have a little bit more of an informed decision on Chong. I know it's been about 5 games or so, but you do expect to see a bit of a glimmer,
But
like
that's 5 more games than Angel.
And do you know what I mean? And Gomes hasn't even had that. He hasn't even had that. But back to the January situation. I mean, the likes of a James Maddison or a Grealish or players of that ilk, Eriksen is a lot more gettable for me. I don't see a Grealish. I don't see them leaving now in January. I think Grealish, Aston Villa captain. I think as a player, we don't know him personally, but I think he's the sort of guy who will go, I want to try and keep these up. They're my boy club. I come through this. I don't want to go now. I can't see that.
As much
maybe
as
an agreement in principle.
I think that yes, Grealish would say that. However, make no mistake about it. Aston Villa are relegation for them, mate. I'm telling you.
100%.
And they need the money. Do you see what I'm saying? So
do you think they'd actually let him go anyway?
Bro, if United said, yo, here's 45 million, and then whatever on performances, because Jack Grealish is worth that. I reckon we could get him for that. I reckon we genuinely could get him for that, bro. Like, these clubs need the money. You see what I'm saying? Manchester United are not serious. They're not a serious club at all. So because of that, I don't think there'll be any movement for Grealish. I think the Maddison thing as well, like, he's going to be very expensive, and that also hinges on the fact that he was a Man United fan. There's a lot of sentiment in the bias.
He will be very expensive. I mean, he does look. He's definitely better than what we have.
What Harry Maguire cost us.
Yeah, I would say so. And Leicester will definitely not fret to hold out for that type of money.
Why would they?
They
Because
don't
they'll probably
need to.
finish above us in the league as well.
Absolutely.
So why are they going to need to sell us Maddison?
It's not even a probable. It's probably a definite.
Out of the two of them, I want Grealish.
Okay. Another thing I was going to say is that you look at people asking that say, you know, we need an attacking midfielder, we need a creative midfielder, which we do. But for me, I also think we just need better players in midfield. I don't even think we need an attacking midfielder. No, because we just need to change the formation. Because, well, that too. But the reason why I say that, Rants, is I feel like Pogba's going to be gone. We know this in the summer. So let's just take Pogba out of this equation, yeah? Just for argument's sake. We know he's our best midfielder, but with all the saga and all that, let's just forget Pogba now, because let's just leave that over there. If you look at our midfield of the central midfielders that we have, which is Matic, you can argue Pereira can play there, because he just did, and Fred, McTominay, them 4. I feel like...
And Matic will leave at the end of the season.
And Matic is going to go at the end of the season. But even if you add Matic into that in terms of them 5, I still feel like the way that group of players would move the ball, maybe take the exception of Fred, because he's been doing that. Yeah. So let's look at the other 4, because Fred, we know, can actually move the ball quickly and pass forward. Let's take him out. Let's look at the other 4. I don't believe that Matic, McTominay, Pereira to a certain extent, and who is the other one?
That's it.
Oh, that's it. Sorry, that 3. I don't look at them and think that they're excellent at moving the ball. I think we can get better players than them that are not exactly specialists, like a creative midfielder. I just think better central midfielders. I just think we need better.
Yeah,
not even have to be specialists, just better.
Them men are not. They're not levels.
Do you see what I mean?
Honest, but again,
in any formation, I just think we need better.
For that. They're not prepared for that. We're talking about James Maddison from Leicester. We need Ndidi, bruv. That's who we need.
Do you see what I'm saying? So say you put an Ndidi in there. Say, I know N'Golo Kante, but even a Jorginho or Kovacic, someone who
man don't even need any of those.
I'm just talking about players. Yeah. I'm just throwing off. Neves can move the ball quick. Like, I'm talking about players just who can do that. Even a Wijnaldum, players who keep the ball ticking. They're good at movement, interchanging, triangles, hunting impact. Like, I just feel like we just need better players in that situation. Not necessarily, like I said, only individual specialists. Yes, Eriksen, I agree. 100%. I think we should go and get him. I was saying that for a while. Especially with how cheap he would be. I mean, we do need a number 10. Jesse's not lighting it up. Andreas is not lighting it up. Matt is not lighting it up. Gomes can't get a game for whatever reason. We do need that player. But taking out those players that we were talking about, your Fred and Pogba, who I think are obviously good enough, I just think the rest, we just need better.
But I don't even think it's just better. We need players that are bought specifically with a certain profile to play a certain brand of football. At the moment, Ollie's buying players without a brand of football in mind. Like, he doesn't know what he wants to do. Anyone that's got any tactical knowledge of football knows that a 4-2-3-1 is not a counter-attacking formation. It's a containing formation to dominate the ball, 2 holding players to stifle the opposition. That's why Mourinho likes that formation so well, because it's a steady formation. It's supposed to be hard to break down. It's not a counter-attacking formation, though. You're supposed to monopolise the ball really in that formation, or you're supposed to be very compact and hard to beat in that formation. We're neither. We're conceding a lot of goals in that formation, and our counter-attacks aren't even they're not even counter-attacks where we're building through the midfield. Like, Harry Maguire's playing it straight out to the left winger.
We're gone. Yeah, we're gone.
And then we're gone, bro. If you want to play that free-flowing counter-attacking football, a 4-3-3 would be better suited with 2 number 8s because we don't have a 10. Do you see what I mean? Like, the whole thing don't make no sense to me. You buy Wan-Bissaka, who is a very good defensive right back here, but you know that going forward he's not going to give you much of an attacking outlet, which is fine if you've got an attacking right winger that can create chances on that side. Daniel James is not that guy. If I was an attacking right side player and I had Wan-Bissaka behind me, I'll stand on the halfway line, bro. I don't need to help him. I'll just wait up there.
Yeah.
If you got like a Riyad Mahrez day, and you just get the ball to Mahrez. That's what Leicester did. Ping it diagonally to Mahrez 40 yards, and he was just cutting man up. If we had a right winger that could actually create, nobody would be talking about Wan-Bissaka's attacking output. But the balance on the right-hand side is not there. Do you see what I mean? We're very left-hand side dominant, and we have been. And then you say Luke Shaw on the left-hand side. We're left-side dominant, but he doesn't give us anything in an attacking sense, and he's not great defensively either, which is why Brandon Williams has to play on that side. So there's no balance with any of the signings
That's what I was
whatsoever.
Say. It looks
You
like
brought in Harry Maguire, but he's like a better version of Lindelof. When you brought in Harry Maguire, you should have been thinking, who complements Harry Maguire's skills to partner him? Chris Smalling. But you let Chris Smalling go. And Eric Bailly suits him as well, because Bailly attacks the ball, but Bailly's injured. So again, keeping Jones and getting rid of Smalling, another failure on the part of the manager, because you're not looking at the system and balance and players that complement and all these other... There's no balance. There's no balance. So instead of going for a Maddison or something like that, one, we shouldn't be playing a formation where we need a number 10. And if we are going to play a formation with a number 10, we need a deep-lying player that can create. That shouldn't be Paul Pogba. That should be someone else. That should be a Christian Eriksen. Eriksen can play in the 6 and the 8. And he can give us similar to what Michael Carrick gave us. Eriksen hasn't got massive pace.
But he can initiate
But he can
attacks.
be the guy initiating attacks and moving the ball around.
And that's
Christian
why I
Eriksen's
talk about the
right
quality.
age as well.
Yeah.
He should be the primary midfield target for Manchester United, playing in a deeper role. And at Tottenham, he's shown in that free, he can also play out wide. He can also play down the middle. He can play back here. He's exactly what we need. And the fact that we're not literally saying, Spurs, yo, take 40 million or whatever, shows me that these men don't have a clue what they're doing. We're getting linked with Sean Longstaff, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? He's getting outdone by his brother at Newcastle.
Didn't even know he had one until he scored against us in the first time.
Twice?
I remember, I know. But in the first game at St James's Park when he scored, I was like, it's Longstaff. It's a bit small now. I don't like it. They're like, it's his fucking brother. Oh my God.
Bro, this is it. So the kind of players we're getting linked to, also it shows that Oli doesn't have the pulling power to get players to the club. Haaland snubbed him, and it's one of them ones where it's well known within the club that Oli told players that Haaland was coming. So you don't give Jose your word, you're coming and not turn up. When Jose said Zlatan was coming, Zlatan came. If you tell Carlo or Pep you're coming, you come. Like Kante told, who was the manager when he went there? It was Jose. No. Jose was the United manager. Jose tried to get Kante to United.
And he said no.
He said no because he'd already given his word to the Chelsea manager at the time,
Conte,
which was Conte, wasn't it? Yeah. So he'd already given him his word he was going there. This is what happens when you respect a manager. Haaland's played for Oli and still didn't respect man enough to keep his word and come to the club.
Or this is what happened also. If you're an honest person, you keep your own word though.
Yeah.
Like, Kante's he's a decent guy. Maybe he's just a better man than Haaland.
But Haaland probably said, yes, Oli, I'll come. And then Dortmund sat down and showed man the project and said, yo, this is what we do. We've had people like Lewandowski, Aubameyang. Like, we're well renowned. Yeah, we're well renowned for progressing players' careers. And they move on and do bigger and better things. This is the project. And he probably saw that and he thought, you know what, bro?
Champions League now.
Champions League for my career. Do you know what I mean? The pull of Manchester United, like, that only exists, on UK shores, bro. Once you go abroad, you have to show me facts, figures, European football. If you can't show me all those things, the romance ain't there.
I definitely think, obviously, money is a big say of things, and a lot of players will just sign for that. But we've been there, done that. I think you're right. The arrogance that we have as a football club, which we have because of our history. We're entitled to have that in terms of we believe we should be doing better. We should believe we should be fighting for top honours, having the best players playing attractive football. They're like the 4 things we expect as Manchester United fans. And fans of smaller clubs can maybe say these United fans think they're so big, they need to understand they're not what they were. But as United fans, we understand what it's like to have won multiple times and have those aspirations. So we're not going to stop. But in terms of the footballing world and acquiring players, with the situation we are in now, it's not just as easy as ringing up the phone and the agent going, guess what, Jack? Or maybe not Jack Grealish, yeah, Haaland, guess what? Eric, it is Man United on the phone. It's not, I'll sign straight away, I don't even care what the terms are. It's not that no more. Because there's so many other options out there and better options right now.
Options.
And that player has to decide.
We're not talking about heritage, we're not talking about romance, we're talking about footballing options.
Yeah.
Out of football options in world football, I think Manchester United aren't in the top 10 in footballing options. There's so many clubs that you can go to if you want to progress your career as a young player that's better set up to succeed and better for your long-term development than Manchester United. That's a fact.
Yeah, and it just depends on what notion the player has. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying we cannot attract names anymore, as in none.
We can,
it's
but
just more
we'd have to throw a shitload of cash at these guys.
And it has to be, sometimes you can get that player who's actually like, do you know what? I'd love to be the first star of that new Manchester United.
But that's the dream they sold Pogba.
Which though a Grealish or a Maddison or maybe an Eriksen might even go.
I think Madders has the arrogance about him, and not in a bad way. But he's a talented player and he knows it. Innit? He's got the arrogance about him to say, you know what, like I can be one of the main guys at this team. That's why I believe he would come if we went in for him. You have to have a certain kind of swagger about you, right now, to say, you know what, I can be the guy.
Yeah.
But a lot of players, like Haaland's in his development years. Do you know what I mean? Like, well, why would you come here now? And then what happens? Like your stock goes down because you don't hit the ground running, and then before you know it, you're having to deal with X, Y, Z.
He definitely looks like he's taking the best move
for
his career.
He's made the best move for his career, but also the fact that he told Ollie he was coming, Ollie told players he was coming, then he hasn't come. That shows you that it's not as an attractive option as a lot of people have deluded themselves to think.
Okay, let us know what you guys are thinking about the January transfer window, who you think we should be signing, what our main priorities are. A lot of people saying a striker, a lot of people saying a right winger, attacking midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, basically everything.
Bro, we could get Eriksen, and we could probably get Ziyech as well,
Imagine that'd be a good win.
For a combination of like 60, 70 million, bro. Do you see what I'm saying? But these guys in charge of
transfers... It's not even being spoken about. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Let us know what you guys think about that. Right, we didn't touch on it at the beginning because we kind of started talking about January transfer when they kind of mixed up the order. But I do want to talk about the week just gone. Arsenal. It's the first time we've seen each other in the year, isn't it? Yeah.
Apart from at the Arsenal game,
Yeah, but this is the first show we've done, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, of course.
That's what I mean. So, Happy New Year, mate. Arsenal, it went horribly wrong. And then the Wolves game, no shots on target in the whole match. Okay, we didn't lose. That's the only probably positive. We defended well and maybe didn't give Wolves as much chances as we might have done in other times at that godforsaken ground that I don't even want to say the name because I hate going there. And we've got a replay in a fixture congestion list that is already so packed. And now we've got more games. But Arsenal, where did you see it going wrong?
The Arsenal game went exactly how it was meant to go, based on the fact that Arteta's a tactician. I've always been worried. Like as soon as Arsenal announced Arteta, I tweeted. I was like, bro,
you think he could be a problem?
Bro, if they back him the way they're supposed to, Arsenal can be a problem. And I think that Arsenal are probably, I wouldn't say they've turned the corner yet, because they lost 4 at home on the bounce, and they need to win 4 at home on the bounce for me to believe them. But I do think in terms of their fortunes, I think they'll be more consistent now than they were before. Also, remember, Arteta was at City the last time we played them. So Arteta's looked at Manchester United against when we beat Manchester City, and he said, yo, this is how United like to play. This is how we're going to set up. And he tactically pulled Ollie's pants down in that game. He did. And it was a masterclass.
And we just didn't have an answer, did we? Our players just looked jaded from the 3rd minute onwards. I keep referring to that 3 minutes because we started right in the first 3 minutes. And then it just went rapidly downhill. Luke Shaw didn't have the best game.
Yeah, Luke Shaw got run ragged. Do you know what I mean? But we both said in the pre-match thing we would have played Ashley Young.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones where obviously fans don't know better than the managers. What do we know, bro? Do you know what I mean?
And then on to the Wolves game. I mean, I predicted a draw. I had a feeling it'd be a draw in a replay. I just had that feeling. I just thought Wolves had a lot of games recently. They made some changes as well. I thought they would make changes for this game, so they might not be at their blistering best. They just come back from losing against Watford. So they're not the top notch Wolves. But you know, on any given day, you can go there and get slapped though.
Yes.
So I thought something there or there in between, which I predicted a draw. But we controlled the first half, but that's because Wolves let us.
Yeah, but Wolves always let us.
They always let us have the ball. It's the same thing that happened when we drew 1-1 with them in the first game this season when Martial scored. We were in control of the game, but we just got the goal that we deserved, and then we went downhill from there. What did you think of that game?
The Wolves game, like Wolves remind me of like Mourinho's Porto team. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very compact. They're very hard to beat. Everyone's comfortable on the ball.
They all know their jobs.
Yeah, they're happy to just let you have it.
They've got two systems that they play and they're comfortable equally in both.
And that's it. And they're happy to let you have it, bro. Yeah. And they're a reactive team. They react to what you do. And I think they looked at us and they thought, you know what? You could give them 3 hours. They're not going to score. We didn't have a shot on target in the whole game. And then you turn around and you watch what the Liverpool youngsters done. And it tells you that when people are screaming out, Ollie needs better players, I'm not giving him more money, because Liverpool's kids have just gone out there and slapped Everton, slapped them.
They played every single first team ever.
Yeah, slapped them. Because you know why? The system is more important than the sum of the parts. And these guys, these kids are playing, they're learning the game just how the first 11 are learning the game. And you saw the only difference in that Liverpool team was that they didn't have Bobby in there linking the play. They had Minamino in there instead. And he's not as good as Bobby at doing that specific job, but he done a good enough job. They played the same system, the same shape, the same style of football.
All the players knew exactly what to do.
They didn't have Trent and Robbo whipping the balls in. You could tell the difference without them fullbacks in there. But the shape, the attacking shape, the movement, everything was identical.
And the pattern of play.
The pattern of play was identical. And that's what I say. Manchester United do not. Over a year, United do not have a pattern of play. Even after 2 weeks watching Arsenal, you can see what Arteta's done. You can see the triangles. You can see what happens. Players coming in, Ozil dropping out, doing. You can see things. When you watch Manchester United, it very much depends on what 11 starting on the pitch, what kind of.
Well, you know what makes me think back, because I thought this at when I was there. I don't want to see if you guys agree with me, which proves this point about our way of playing, and that it's not infectious across the whole club. Well, it is infectious, but for the negative reason, because we played our kids against Astana. And yes, obviously we dominated the ball against Astana. We're a lot better than them.
Because the kids are better, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? But we still had the same common themes. You know, I know, Chong should have scored to make it 2-0, and then it would have been a different game, and then they ran up there and scored. Fine margins. I'm not digging out these kids. Because I'm not digging out that result. I'm talking about just someone else, another batch of players slotting into that system. It still looked a bit disjointed. It wasn't consistent. We were able to be got at. And I know you're going to get inconsistencies with young players, but like you said, that Liverpool performance, it did prove it. But you have to look at it as well, though. I know that I'm just looking at the other side. Klopp's obviously had time to implement that. His board has backed him properly. His board has gone and got him players that suits his style. Is our board doing that? Is our board, let's talk about this. Is our board saying to Ollie, we trust what you're doing, so the players that you ask for, we will give you? Or is our board doing what it has done in previous times, which is half-heartedly back the manager, maybe get this player?
So.
Where do you...
I think that the board backed Ollie for the simple fact that they spent £80 million on Harry Maguire. Harry Maguire is not worth £80 million. No. He's a good player, but Harry Maguire is probably a £50 million player.
If that.
Yeah, he's £50 million player, because when I look at Harry Maguire, he's technically very good, but I don't think he's any better in terms of level than an Ake or a Mings. Like, I don't think that his level's much higher than that.
Very true. He's not that higher than Chris Smalling.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. He's just better on the floor.
Yes.
He's not worth £80 million.
No.
Like, that is backing your manager, because you paid over the odds for a player that wasn't worth that. Wan-Bissaka, we paid 45 million for. I believe he's worth that. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Daniel James was 15 million. He was going to be at Leeds United the season before, and he would have cost about 4 million or something to go Leeds, and we paid 15 for him. Yeah. That's backing the manager. So I'm not hearing that he wasn't been backed. Like, if you look at what Jurgen Klopp did, he came in his first season, he had a worse squad than Ollie inherited, and he got to a European Cup final. finished in a respectable enough position. The season after that, another European Cup final. Season after that, another European Cup final. Bro, it's not even comparable. And in that time, remember, they sold to buy. They sold Coutinho for big money, and he didn't replace Coutinho. He brought in Van Dijk because he knew he needed a centre-half and he needed a goalkeeper as well. So he's bought in the positions that he needs to strengthen. United have been screaming out for a right-sided player for about 5 seasons.
Yes, we haven't had it for a while.
But that's what I'm saying. So Ollie's not even bringing in players in the right position. He got rid of 2 central midfielders, and he was hell bent on bringing in a striker before. But we've got Rashford, Greenwood and Martial at the club. So how is a central midfielder not urgent, bro? And Ander Herrera was a starter for us. He wasn't a bench player. So
It's got to be urgent. I can't see us getting to February the 1st.
When you look at it, it's not the fact they haven't been backed, because actually, I think money-wise, we've probably spent as much as Liverpool without making as much money coming in as well. Because Liverpool got how much for Coutinho?
120 something, 130.
There you go. What player have we sold for more than £50 million? Ever?
What did Lukaku
Apart from
go for?
Ronaldo. Oh, no, Lukaku went for 70 actually.
Yeah.
He went for what we got for him. So we got our money back on him. Ronaldo went for 80 way back.
Yeah.
But Lukaku, what did we reinvest that Lukaku money on?
That was the biggest. We were talking about net spend because it looked like we
Liverpool's
spent
net
100.
spend is probably identical to ours, and they've spent well.
It looked like we spent, but then when you broke it down, you're like, hold on, we just got 75
We spent
million
60
for Lukaku.
million.
Where's that?
We spent a net of 55 million. You have to think that. Remember, Liverpool wanted Van Dijk, and Southampton accused them of tapping him up.
Yeah.
And guess what? Klopp waited till the next season.
Yeah.
You see, because he knew he wanted Van Dijk.
Yeah,
because he only wanted Van Dijk.
Yeah.
Klopp waits for the players he wants because he identifies players of a profile to play in the
Ollie's
system.
doing that though, because Ollie's saying that
Ollie's
we
not
want to get the
identifying
right
nothing.
ones. How do we know? Like,
But we're
how do
not
we know that
getting the
this
right
summer?
ones, Flex.
How do we know that this summer a Mazza's not going to happen?
No. We're not getting the right ones, Flex. You've just got to look that these players have been bought with no system in mind. Daniel James would rather play on the left-hand side. So would Rashford. You know what I mean? Martial could play there as well.
We need that natural
Daniel
right-hand
James,
side,
as much as he was a good addition in terms of he's a squad player.
Definitely
and he
a
can do
good
job,
addition, 100%.
But he wasn't needed more than a proper right-sided player was needed. You would have been better off going and getting Wilfred Zaha back here, who we've got a 20% clause on, and maybe paying 40 million for him and getting Zaha back on the right-hand side that's going to play, start, and add quality to the team. I don't think Daniel James has added quality to the team. I think he's added numbers to the team. He hasn't added quality because actually he hasn't got a goal since September. He hasn't scored in over 3 hours of football or something like that. Not 3 hours.
And he's obviously added pace.
It's way more than 3 hours. I got it wrong. Yeah. He hasn't scored a goal in 3 months or nearly 4 months, and nobody's really talking about it because he works hard. But he hasn't added quality. He's just added pace and he's added an extra body. So
and we're always going to have that patience with him because he is so young. And we didn't let him come here with everything on his shoulders. We didn't expect him to be thrusted in to this. I do feel he's been.
But the fact
I don't want to be unfairly played, but like you have to criticise performances.
Yeah.
Or look at performances because the players that are playing, that's what we're going to do as fans. But I do feel a little bit of a way for Daniel James because I feel like he shouldn't be in that position.
Bro, all of my criticism of his performances are actually not aimed at him.
Yeah,
because
it's the management of him.
Exactly, because his level is his level.
Yeah.
But it's the manager that picks the team. It's the manager that decides that actually you're my first choice right-sided player. For me, he should never be like nailed on first choice. I don't think he's done enough to say, yo, that right wing's yours. Whereas it looks like Ollie's kind of made him.
He's definitely the
guy,
favourite,
and I don't think he's done enough to, apart from the run of play that he had. Like at the beginning, he had a little purple patch, and then after that, it's been very, very
bit one-dimensional,
one-dimensional and underwhelming.
Yeah.
So because of that, if Ollie's not looking at that and still thinking, yo, we still need a right winger, then I don't think that he's building this team properly. I honestly don't. I think that he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know where we need to strengthen. I think that a striker is not that urgent. It's not that urgent. Worst case scenario, you could play Marcus Rashford down the middle.
I don't think that's the number one priority. Like I said, I think the number one priority is.
But Haaland was the only deal that we had in place.
That's what I mean. It's like, I know you got to take a lot of the media rumours with a pinch of salt because a lot of them are lies. We know there's some rumours and we get linked with every man.
Bro, him and Woodward flew out there, bro. Like it wasn't a lie.
Yeah, exactly. They were there, and that was weird that they were putting all the eggs into getting this striker, and that I feel is not even a priority. Talking about priorities, though, we spoke about midfield, and another striker, Jimenez and Neves.
Woodward brief.
I mean,
Woodward beef.
Would you take them too?
Bro, absolutely. But it's a Woodward brief, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? If we're gonna go to them kind of clubs and buy players, which I'm 100%, I'm okay with. I said that if I was in charge, I would go to other teams in the Premier League in and around, and I'll take their players, bro.
Because that's what I'm saying.
I would take Wilfred Ndidi from Leicester. I would take Ruben Neves from Wolves. I would probably take Richarlison from Everton. Them kind of players, because when you're rebuilding, you need to strengthen yourself domestically before you can start thinking about European honours. If you get the best of the rest in the Premier League, you will finish in the top 4. You will. And then once you're finishing in the top 4 consistently, then you can now attract other players that can make you a force in Europe.
Baby steps, innit?
But you need to build domestically first. Right now, bringing in, do you know what I mean? Like the likes of the Longstaffs that we're getting linked with, and the Callum Wilsons and the Calvert-Lewins, bro. It's like, what are we trying to build? A championship side.
Yeah, you want, like you said, the best of the rest. You want the upper echelons of the...
We could have got Tielemans for 40 million and we let him sign for Leicester. You see what I mean?
And that was without even a bat of an eyelid. Like, we weren't even in for it. Like, there was nothing with the Tielemans thing. I remember coming to the end of that season thinking, well, that Tielemans guy, he's only on loan, man. They're only asking for, like, surely we've got to try and get him. It wasn't even a thing. Like, there wasn't even one rumour. I don't remember seeing. But that was the week just gone. Let's look at the week ahead. We got Man City tomorrow, or as you guys are watching this tonight. Over 2 legs. I mean, it's obviously massively important that we take something to the Etihad. I think if we can keep a clean sheet and nick a 1-0, or obviously a 2-0 is even better. But I think if we can not let them score and nick the game to take to the Etihad, it gives us a fighting chance.
Bro, I'm gonna be real, yeah. Kevin De Bruyne is on stuff, innit? And our midfield's looking very soft in the middle, bruv. Man are looking toy soldier FC, blood. Man are soft in the middle, blood. Yeah. I'm telling you, Kevin De Bruyne is going to tear us apart, bruv. Like, honestly.
What he didn't do? He didn't tear us apart when we went there?
But he's on form now, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Man, it's just...
He's always on form.
No,
he's not on form.
No, he's not.
When we went there, he was on form.
Kevin De Bruyne, yeah, goes through little quiet spells, but the thing is, like, and I've said it many times, with Paul Pogba, he's the only midfielder in the world that's expected to win the ball. He's expected to tackle, he's meant to assist and score goals and that. They let Kante just break up play. They let De Bruyne just do things. Do you know what I mean? But with Pogba, he's meant to do everything, innit? With Kevin De Bruyne, when De Bruyne's just doing De Bruyne things, he's cool.
He's mad level.
And when he's not really on form, no one really says anything about it. Do you know what I mean?
Because he's so good in the other
Exactly. But Kevin De Bruyne, in that midfield, against Arsenal the other day, he said that's the easiest game he's ever played.
That's banter. He might get another easy one.
And I reckon this is going to be even easier for man. I'm not even.
No, I'm being optimistic, man. I think with this team,
bro. Did you see what Arsenal done?
Yeah, I saw
with the B-Tech
Rants.
The B-Tech Pep done us, yeah. So the real Pep, is going to be scratching his shiny head, thinking this is not happening again to me.
Rants.
If we beat City again, Pep has to resign. He has to, because he hasn't learned.
I'm being optimistic, yeah. Don't ask me why, because I am, yeah. I think at home, I feel like we're going to draw, actually. I feel it'll be a draw.
But if City cannot beat us, Pep needs to call it a day. Honestly, because you've had time to go back to
But this team is so capable of raising it, Rants, against the big...
No, but McTominay, Fred, yes, we don't have that pivot no more.
It'll have to be Matic
and Fred, and Matic is going to get overran. He will. He doesn't have the mobility and the agility to deal with the Man City tiki-taka and the high press. Like,
so if
you high press Matic, he will go backwards and sideways because he doesn't have the fleet-footedness here to kind of drop the shoulder, go past a man and be press resistant. He doesn't have that. Fred can do that. Matic isn't press resistant, so you're going to see Matic going sideways and backwards. You're going to see no forward passing. The strikers are going to be starved of the ball, and I think that City are going to dominate possession, probably 60 to 65% possession, and if they take their chances, I think that they'll win comfortably.
I just got that thing in the back of my mind that this team, I know what you're saying, can raise it against the bigger teams. Having said that, even Solskjaer admitted we're just jaded at the moment. So many games, we got a lot of injuries. City, have they had a bit more of a rest than us? Not really, because they've played the other day, but they've got more depth than us. And I think that will shine through over 2 legs.
Yeah, for sure.
We can nick a half decent result out of Trafford. We might be able to get a draw, nick it 1-0.
I'd love to go to the Etihad with something to play for because United are dangerous on the break.
That's what I'm saying. If we go there 1-0 up or 2-0 up, 2-0 up, brilliant. Oh, Jesus, that'd be great. I'm not saying that City can't beat us 3-0 because they can.
Yeah.
But it gives us something to hold on to, and then you score 1 there. The away goals count? I think it does. Does away goals count? I don't know. I need to check
I
that.
would think they would, yeah.
I think it does. Otherwise, why would they even?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think we can nick a half positive result at Old Trafford tomorrow.
Mate, I'd love it, but I honestly don't see lightning striking twice. I think that Arteta saw our flaws, and he's not Pep Guardiola. Do you know what I mean? So I think Pep will... Don't be surprised if Pep changes the formation, maybe plays a 3 at the back or something, but I expect a different Manchester City from the one that we absolutely demolished in like a 20-minute spell.
Yeah, which we did. Yeah, that was just crazy. Let us know what you think about the games coming up. The last 2 games against Wolves and Arsenal. And again, we kind of touched a bit on transfers again with, Jimenez and Neves and other players as well. Let us know what you guys think. All right, let's hit up the questions section, Rants. This is from @O'Days on Twitter. Where do you see United in 5 years?
It depends. Under what management and what ownership, to be completely honest. I think we need to get the owners out. I think we need to get Woodward out. I think we need to get the manager out. I think we need a whole reboot, bro. We need a whole structural and cultural reboot, bro. So, if the Glazers are still here in 5 years, I don't see United any better off than they are now.
Okay. This is from @NSanibo. Who's your favourite club in Spain?
Oh, that's hard,
Mine's always been Real Madrid.
See, mine hasn't. Because growing up, it used to be Barcelona. It used to be Romario, Ronaldo, Rivaldo, the Brazilians, bro. That used to be my team. But then I started to dislike Barcelona, yeah? You know when they screwed over Chelsea in the Champions League final? And I'm like, bro, they're just cheaters, bro. Do you know what I mean? And because of that, I stopped liking them. And then, obviously, Ronaldo went to Real Madrid, so I started liking Real Madrid a bit more.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's more towards Real Madrid now, yeah? But when I was younger, it was Barcelona.
I know it wasn't R9's best. He wasn't at his peak then. Obviously, when he was at Real Madrid, it was more.
He was at Barcelona.
And Inter Milan, he was just unplayable. But
Romario, Ronaldo, Rivaldo,
them crew of Brazilians, obviously Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho as well was my favourite player of all time.
Remember when they had little Julie? They had
Ludovic Julie, bad man.
Bad players.
Bro, even Quaresma went there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They had, but for me, I loved Real Madrid, man. I loved when they had Carlos.
Modern Real Madrid for me.
But even back, when Raul was just the man.
Raul, Guti, all them, man. Hero at the back. You know what I mean? Roberto Carlos.
Salgado right back.
Bro, they were decent.
They're just players. But yeah, I think mine is just about Real Madrid.
Yeah.
@Abid_03. Why do you think Luke Shaw went from a 16-year-old prodigy to being the second best left back in our current team?
Loads of reasons.
Injuries is one. Maybe lack of mentality and lack of perceived talent. Because we bought him with high expectations. He did do well as a youngster under Pochettino at Southampton.
Yeah, but even at Southampton, there were question marks over his attitude. Every club he's ever been at, there's been question marks over his attitude, his work ethic, his mentality, all of those things, yeah? So people talk about the injury.
Since he's been at United, that's happened as well.
People talk about the injury, but it's not just the injury. It's the fact that you need a certain mental strength, you need a certain amount of dedication and all of that to recover from an injury that bad. Because, yes, it was a career-threatening injury, but there are players that have recovered from worse.
I saw Aaron Ramsey's ankle hanging off.
But just what I'm saying, there are people
got his head back
people that have recovered from holes in the heart and stuff like that, and collapsing on the pitch and coming back and playing football. So it comes down to mentality, dedication, and all of that application, bro. He plays as an inverted.
But does he even possess all of the attributes we thought he did, though? Or did he possess those when he was 16, 17?
I think
as he's got older, it maybe just hasn't manifested itself into genuine world-class talent.
think he still possesses the attributes. Luke Shaw can actually dribble when he tries. His close control's good. His crossing isn't good because he doesn't go down the outside and try and cross, but actually, technically, he can whip a football. So he does possess the attributes, actually. He's not as quick as he used to be because he's overweight. And also, he doesn't go down the outside because he's not brave. Like, when we counter-attack, Luke Shaw, instead of busting his gut like Brandon Williams,
you see that, right?
Luke Shaw just trots up the side because he's thinking about getting back because he's not fit enough to bomb forward and then if it breaks down, get back. So what he does is he labours forward, receives
just
it
in
short,
case, we lose.
Receives it short, then plays it inside. He's not busting a gut to go down the outside because he's not fit enough to go up and down.
Brandon Williams completely sums up the two differences between the left.
Well, there you go.
Because again, we keep talking about Liverpool, but unfortunately we have to because they're the pinnacle of English football, right?
And I tell you what, Robbo is 6 foot plus as well and built like a brick shit house. Yeah?
So is Trent,
and he's still fit.
Tall. Do you know what I'm saying?
And he's still fit. So that comes down to dedication, application,
and willingness to do that.
And willingness to do that, bro.
Okay. This is from @Dubsy Boy. Lingard linking up with Raiola. What's your thoughts?
I told man, Jesse Lingardinho now, bro. I'm telling you, when he signed up with Raiola signs the best footballers in the world, innit? So now, whatever Kool-Aid them man are drinking, Lingard needs to drink some of that Kool-Aid, blood. I'm telling you, Jesse Lingardinho in the number 10, bro, with the low socks, bro. Bring back the low socks, Start binsing man out. Save our season, bro.
I honestly, man, I look. It's not confirmed yet and stuff, but it's just, let's just talk about it hypothetically if it was to happen. I just think it just doesn't look good, does it? Because I know from a job perspective, this is an agent who will guarantee you get your deals and money, but you've seen with the controversy around this guy, and I know he said some things about Manchester United that technically a lot of Manchester United fans do agree with.
And I'm one of them.
Exactly. And I agreed with a lot of the things he said as well. But I'm talking about as a football agent, not talking about clubs. I mean, he does get good deals for his players, but I feel Jesse Lingard, for me, doesn't necessarily fall into that superstar category.
But hey, let me flip this.
He's definitely someone Raiola can work with in terms of what he brings. You know what I mean? Like a package, a brand, Lingard. But I think what happens when people start looking purely at Lingard's football output, and at the moment, it hasn't been great.
No, but bro, let me flip this for you, Because a lot of the reason why there's a lot of hate or vilification of Raiola comes from Sir Alex Ferguson, comes from all of that. A lot of United fans are just like, oh, we have to hate Raiola because Ferguson didn't like him. Do you know what I mean? And then other people are talking about Raiola. But my thing is, Raiola is a football agent. Football clubs are not meant to like him, bro. He's put in place to get the best deal for his clients. All of his clients love him. That's why he gets the best deals for his clients in world football. Zlatan loves him. Pogba loves him. All these men love Raiola. They ain't got a bad word to say about him because he does his job and he's very good at it. But
he does the extra things. That's what I'm like.
But
he's
bro,
an idiot. Man.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
There's no other football agent that does what he does.
And
do the job. That's fine.
But that's why he's the best one, Flex. What you got?
George Mendes. He get Ronaldo P's. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but George Mendes ain't levels with Raiola.
But I'm saying this whole shithousery that he does about talking about this and let the player speak. Why he speak? Like I
would rather the agent speaks than the player speaks because the players are not being paid to speak. They're not. But
even in the Pogba situation, I think the whole thing could have been a lot easier if Pogba spoke about his situation rather than Raiola.
No, but my thing is,
he says bullshit all the time.
But Pogba doesn't really speak about anything, nor should he. Like Pogba was injured, Oli threw Pogba under the bus by his wording in the press conference saying, Pogba spoke to his people and this, that and the other.
Then in the same context, to be fair, he was like, I had that when I was playing. It's best to get a second look. We all have our own.
Yeah, but that was after. Exactly. When he said his people, he made it sound like Raiola told man not to play. He never said that Pogba went and got a second opinion and this, that and the other. He didn't. So he threw Pogba under the bus there. Pogba could have come out and said X, Y, but he didn't because Pogba only cares about his family and playing football. All that other stuff, really, he doesn't really speak about, bruv. How many times has he really done many interviews over like the 3-4 year span? Once or twice.
I think for me,
I don't think that players have to say whatever. If the agents want to say whatever they want to say, that's fine. The bottom line is Raiola's job is to get the best possible deals for his clients.
Yeah, he does that.
And
as a football agent, he does that. But he gets the best possible deal for himself as well.
But that's fine.
Again, you're a football agent.
But do that too. If you're an estate agent and you're selling 100%, houses,
if you can make commission, that's fine.
If you can make your commission, make your commission.
Hustle, do your thing. What I'm saying is all the other bullshit that goes around. If you're a football agent, fine, cool, be a football agent. You ain't a coach. You ain't a manager. You ain't a scout. So stop talking about all the football shit. Like, get your client. I'm saying, get your client. If I'm your agent,
here's why I don't agree with that.
Hold on. Because I'm your agent, I'm saying, right, Rants, I'm going to get you P's. I've got you lucrative contract. I've lined my pockets as well. X, Y, Z. Especially if you're a world prodigy like Pogba, there's always stuff on you. I get that. You can't help that. You're a superstar and you deserve to be. What I'm saying is, I don't feel it's necessary for me to always come out and drip feed little things, say, well, yeah, he does want to leave actually. Well, yeah, he does want... Why? That's not my job to say that.
You know why I disagree with you? Because the players will look at that as, yo, this is my guy defending me, bro. This is how you build loyalty, brand loyalty. If I'm seeing, fans, the club, briefing the press, talking crap like saying, right, Haaland didn't come because Raiola, or Pogba wants to leave because that. And I'll be like, listen, no, I'm going to defend my guy, and I'm going to categorically tell you that Pogba does want to stay. Real Madrid came in for Pogba. Pogba refused to push for a move. And actually, the reason why there is any bit of scepticism is because the club's run an absolute bloody shambles. He's allowed to say that. Defend your man. This is the reason why these guys are with Raiola, because he doesn't care. He's not here to be liked. He's here to do his job to the best of his ability, and he does that. So it is what it is. Like, you're not always going to be liked, bro. Like, not everyone like Jesus Christ, bro. So it's not about...
I'm not saying that's to be liked by everyone. So I'm not a fan of his extra antics for me.
I get that. I have no problem with it as long as this guy delivers, bro. Do you know what I mean? And United, all the stuff he said about United not delivering, not having any foresight, not having a plan in place, needing a director of football, everything he said was
absolutely.
spot on.
And I agree with that.
This guy knows football, whether you like it or not. You don't become as successful as him without knowing football. The way he identifies young players and their talent and signs them early before everyone else, that shows that he knows football, bro. Because how's man got Haaland already? Man only started talking about Haaland 2 seasons ago, but man's got him already.
Because he's got, like you said, he has that reputation, and you don't get that.
Because he has the proper footballing network.
I'm 100% not questioning his ability.
No, you just don't like the way he goes about
I don't like the way he moves, for me personally.
Okay.
I just feel like, for me, I would prefer... Like you said, it's about preference. I prefer an agent to stick to being an agent. When it comes to a player having to clarify their own future, because the player is the product. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's your job to sell the player, to pitch, and get the best deal for the player. I get that. But I feel once a player is within a club and that player is playing for the fans, that player is playing, honouring their own contract, that player is playing for a manager, I feel if there is going to be something said about that player, me personally, I think it should just come from the player. Like Rio touched on it and said, it's getting very sketchy because you hear maybe this from Raiola, which he's backing his man. You hear this from Ollie, you hear this from Thing. And I know you can say you should just focus on your football, you shouldn't have to say anything. But I think players do give interviews a lot of the time. They have to sometimes through media obligatories. I just feel if Pogba was to come out and speak himself, I feel that it would be an easy situation to understand, depending on what he comes out and says. But for me, on the Raiola situation, I just prefer to not have that much input on talking.
That's not realistic,
Do you know what I'm saying?
You know why? Turn it to another situation. Imagine you're an actor or something like that, and you're sitting down, and someone offers you something or says, "Oh, what do you want, bro? Speak to my agent." Bro, I don't have to say anything.
Oh, that's fine.
Bro.
No, negotiation-wise, you have to.
Anything to do with anything. Oh, Flex, would you like to do this? Speak to my management. Do you know what I mean? If a brand or someone you're working with says, "Oh yeah, we really like this,"
you can say you feel 100% committed to a club. But you can say that.
But
he came out and said he's not. So why can't he come out and say he is?
It's still not for you to say either way.
Because he said in Japan or Tokyo, wherever he was.
Though.
But that's what I'm saying. Though.
He doesn't have to. And there should be no obligation or no expectation. The thing is, a lot of expectations that football fans...
I think in this situation it'll help.
Flex, a lot of expectancies that football fans have of footballers, they don't have in any other line of work, bro. Don't piss me off. You man think that you can go, to football matches and boo and abuse footballers and that? Bruv, do you know what I mean? When you're working at Next on the till, bruv, imagine if I just came into your shop and started cussing you out and making noise and throwing bananas at you, bruv, or throwing stuff at you. But you could do it at a football match, but imagine a man came to your workplace and done that.
Yeah, of course,
you see what I'm saying?
It's a whole different thing.
But that's what I'm saying. A lot of people hold footballers and expectations away from any other thing else in life, bro. I don't have to give you my opinion, bro. I go to work, I work and I go.
But what I'm saying is, you already give it. Like if you can come out and talk in the summer saying,
but they don't always.
Oh well, I'm looking at a new challenge and stuff like that. Then your agent comes out and says, nah, he does want to stay here. Do you not see that is conflicting messages?
But they have
and that's what I'm saying. If you are going to let your agent speak, I'm saying be on the same page then.
But what I'm saying is there's no obligation either way, Flex. If a man wants to come out and say, I'm happy, then cool. If a man don't want to come out and say nothing, cool. Either way, man shouldn't be looking saying you should say that. Why?
I'm saying because you've already... No, because I'm saying you've already said...
X, Y, Z, then went to Arsenal.
But you've already said you're unhappy. And then you're getting your agent to say... You are happy. So
Pogba never really
to
said,
me, that's bad publicity.
But Pogba never said he was unhappy, bruv. Man, categorically...
You want to leave?
Yeah, because he wants to challenge. And Raiola's come out saying that Pogba would like to stay here, but I want Pogba at a Manchester United that are challenging for the Champions League, challenging for trophies.
Which we all want.
Well, there you go. So Pogba was basically doing what Wayne Rooney did. When he said to Alec Ferguson that actually, the ambition of the club ain't really saying much.
And the same thing there. If he wanted to leave... They could have
what
maybe should have made
did was no different to what Rooney did. The difference is, everyone forgave Wayne Rooney in a heartbeat, bro. Like it was forgotten about, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Pogba's been injured, so he hasn't been able to perform. But literally, Pogba single-handedly carried Manchester United last season, the second half of the season, and through our Europa League campaign, made the Europa League team of the season and all of that, bro. So at the end of the day, there's nothing that he didn't do, that hasn't been done before, bro. There's no obligation for Paul Pogba to come out and say, I really want to stay. We know that he does care about Manchester United Football Club. He rushed himself back, got injured twice.
With that, I'm looking at the medical department because this wasn't even supposed to turn. Yeah. It's so crazy how the Pogba thing always comes out. But to be fair, I'm looking at the medical because off the Raiola thing, to be fair, let us know what you do think about the Raiola thing. Rant sort of saying, don't really mind it, back your guy. That's almost like a lawyer.
And he does it with anyone.
He does it with all. Rant saying that. I'm more saying, as a football agent, fine. He's lying in his pockets. He gets the best deal for his clients. But I'm more saying, I don't really like the extra circus that comes with him. I think he should be a bit more quiet. Let us know where you guys sit on that. But since we're talking about, and I don't want to spend too long on this because it does get boring, but no one's really talking about the medical team and the advice that maybe they did give Pogba, or lack of advice, allowing him to play through. Then saying, because how can someone need 2 operations within a month? I don't get that.
It is,
how could you not know that from the first? It is
the medical team. They're a shambles, but United are a shambles from top to bottom. But not just that. Pogba wanted to come back because he was getting all this abuse. He was getting people like saying, he's not really injured and all this crap. And you think that these players don't see and they don't hear things. And Pogba wanted to show his commitment, so he declared himself fit.
I saw someone saying that he trained today as well.
He didn't train. He was at the training ground. He didn't train. He declared himself fit, bro. Do you know what I mean? To play so we can help.
Is that a danger? You've been a player there because as a player you always want to.
It is a danger, but John Terry used to do it. John Terry used to, when I was still playing, I used to go to a clinic in Harley Street, and John Terry and Scott Parker used to go there, and these guys were getting injections and that to train and stuff like that, bro. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It happens.
And that has a long-lasting effect.
Exactly. So Pogba rushed himself back, and you could see in the games Pogba was playing a bit deeper and that because he wasn't right. But he rushed himself back and he's made it worse. So now he has to have another surgery. So that was him. That's his way of showing his commitment. His way of showing commitment is not coming out in the press and saying things really. His way of commitment is trying to help the team, innit? And that's all it is, bro. So really and truly, the guy's injured himself again. He'll be out for another 6 weeks. And the midfield's looking very...
And when he comes back, and when Scott McTominay comes back, it's a couple of months left of the season, and it's slim pickings, isn't it? Slim pickings. Come to the end of the show. Rants, before we big up the socials, etc., give me 2 predictions for the next 2 games in this week. City and Norwich at home.
Norwich at home, we should win. We should win quite comfortably. Manchester City game, I think 2-1 City.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
In my heart, I think it's going to be a draw. But I'm going to be optimistic. I think we'll nick it. I think we'll nick it against City and get something to take to the Etihad. And I echo what you say against Norwich. I think we should be able to beat them.
That's the operative word.
You just do not know with Manchester United right now. But I think Norwich, out of the rest of the teams that can put up a fight and be solid and rigid, and I feel we could get at them.
Yeah.
Hopefully they don't come back to bite us in the arse. Rants, pick up the socials.
Rants and Mans on Twitter and Instagram for all your trolling needs, and also check out the YouTube channel, guys.
Absolutely. Flex UTD across all of the socials as well. You guys know where to hit me up. And keep sending us your locations, your pictures, your videos of watching the show around the world. And you know what? I'm going to put this out there. I've just thought about this now on the spot. We kind of used to do this on another show we used to do. Drop some comments in the boxes below. You can actually drop your questions sometimes in them boxes.
In the comment section.
Yeah, in the comment section. And it don't even have to be about football. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Talk about anything. You know, you're into NBA, we like music, we like fashion, we like arts, whatever. It could be about anything. We've got world affairs, World War III. Let's not get into politics. But yeah, man, just mix it up a bit in the comments and then we'll see what comes out of it. And most importantly, make sure you're following the United Stand. We will see you guys next Monday. We've got a midweek game every week until the end of January. There's a lot of games coming up. You coming to any? What's your plans?
Don't know, bro. I'm training, innit?
Oh, yeah, you're
training for my fight,
yeah,
which reminds me as well, like, I'm going to be raising some money for Australia as well. So if any of you lot are well, I know some of you lot are watching Australia. If there's any, like, charities or any foundations that you know are legit as well, like, I don't want to give it to some pyramid scheme and, do you know what I mean, the money don't go nowhere. If you know anywhere where, like, I can obviously send some money, then let us know in the comment section. But yeah, I'll start my camp today, bro, and March the 8th.
Okay, you know and you know, on that note, our thoughts are with everyone over there in Australia. I know we've got a lot of subscribers and viewers over there in Australia. We was in Australia earlier this year for the tour as well, which is fantastic in Perth.
Last year.
So we've only been in this year for about 6 or so days. So let me live. But yeah, no, thoughts to everyone over there, man. I hope you guys are managing the best you can in difficult circumstances. And if there are any Australians who do know about charities out there, at the end of the video, like Rant says, man, please just drop it in the comments. We'll go through them and try and look out for the best one. So you can do that, man. That'll be sick.
100%.
We'll see you guys same time, same place next week. Get out of here. Peace. Big thank you to you guys for watching the latest of our videos. And if you want to check out more, make sure you do that just to the right of me. We are the biggest and best Manchester United channel in the world. Make sure you check us out on all of the socials as well. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. The socials are along the bottom. Peace.